Coinbase has just launched their own blockchain, Base, and with their launch, it has been a success. So in this video, we're going to go over what is Base, what you can do on Base, the competitors, and my personal opinion on it. And if you're not familiar with complicated crypto terms, don't worry about that because we're going to keep things simple and understandable, and I'm just going to give you all the information you need rather than all the fluff of all the technical words. All right, with that, I'm Dan, and let's get started. What is Base? So we're going to go over what is the Base blockchain, how it works, and why you might want to use it. Now, Base is a layer 2 blockchain, and that just means it makes Ethereum transactions faster and cheaper. And why would you want to transact on Ethereum? Well, that's because you can do a lot of DeFi, decentralized finance. You can use dApps, decentralized applications. This could be from NFTs to Web3 to trading to lending to all types of different things. So essentially, you can do everything that you would be able to do on Ethereum or any other type of smart contract blockchain, but faster and cheaper. So again, an Ethereum L2 is a blockchain that makes Ethereum transactions faster and cheaper. And Base is doing that using the OP stack, that is the Optimism stack. They are providing the resources to make that happen, and Base is giving Optimism 10% of all revenue made. Now, this is very good because if people are using and transacting on top of Base chain, they are making revenue, and Optimism is taking 10% of that. And if you are an Ethereum holder, you can benefit from this too. Since it is an Ethereum L2, those transactions are burning gas on Ethereum when they get bundled and posted to Ethereum. So as there are more transactions that happen on Ethereum, more Ethereum gets burned, and that makes Ethereum deflationary. As less tokens of Ethereum are available, all Ethereum that is left over becomes more valuable. So Base itself is doing a great thing by creating this chain where the Coinbase users from a centralized exchange can easily jump into the DeFi ecosystem. Now, Base isn't using their own coin, they are using Ethereum. So any transaction you make on Base, you need Ethereum to process those transactions. Now, since Base is its own network, Ethereum is its own network, you have to bridge assets from Ethereum to Base, or if you're a Coinbase user or using an exchange that does support the Base blockchain, then you can just use that to make your transfers. Now, I have another video in the works of using Coinbase Wallet and bridging and moving assets around, so look forward to that and feel free to subscribe if you're new to DeFi and want to understand how that works in a step-by-step way. So to put it simply, Base is a blockchain where you can run transactions quickly and for a very, very low cost, and that is powered by Optimism. If you are going to run any transactions on the network, you have to use Ethereum. But why would you use the Base blockchain? Well, let's jump into what you can do in the Base ecosystem. What can you do on Base? So we are looking at Coinbase's blockchain, Base, and we're going to look into their ecosystem. This is base.org. We jump into ecosystem, and we can see all the different decentralized applications that are available. And I personally don't like using this site because it's a little clunky. I like using DeFi Llama. Now, this isn't an ad or anything. It's just another tool you can use. So for in DeFi Llama, we look at chains, we find Base, and we can see that there are 55 decentralized applications or dApps available. We're going to jump into Base. We can see that $144 million of TVL or total value locked, and that's been growing. Now, they've only been available for like 2 weeks, 1 week officially, and there has been a lot of growth in their ecosystem. The most TVL is on Base Swap, which is a decentralized exchange, Beefy Finance, that is a yield aggregator, and then we can see all the different decentralized apps that are available from lending to mostly lending indexes. Those are really easy to start up. Now, I'm not endorsing any of these just because there's a lot of risk there. There's a lot of risk in DeFi, so be very careful if you are going to get involved with any of these applications. But the good thing about getting started in a new ecosystem and taking that risk of using it is that a lot of these projects might not have a token, and then you might be eligible for an airdrop. So there are advantages and disadvantages to being very early in an ecosystem. And besides the usual finance apps, there's also something called Friend Tech, where it's the marketplace for your friends and getting attention from certain people. Now, Taiki Maeda has a very good deep dive on it. I think it's interesting, but I also think it's at a very early stage where there's a lot of risk. But I do like the innovation, and I think that this is going to cause more projects that are very similar to pop up, which might devalue this project, especially since it's still very limited and clunky at the moment. Base competitors. There's a lot. There are a lot of different blockchains that do the same thing. They run smart contracts, decentralized applications, NFTs. And we'll briefly look at a few. Ethereum is the top dog. Then we have Tron, which mostly is used for stablecoins. Then we have BSC, or Binance Smart Chain, which has since been branded to BNB Chain. This is the blockchain of Binance, and they have done a phenomenal job of onboarding their centralized crypto users into the DeFi world, into the BNB chain ecosystem. So active users over 1 million daily. They are responsible for a lot of transactions, and a lot of the growth in DeFi can be contributed to where all the users go. Now, that might not have the highest value transactions. That actually happens on Ethereum, but there are a lot of different scaling solutions, and that's what Arbitrum, Polygon, and Optimism are doing. They are making Ethereum transactions faster and cheaper. Now, if we take a look at the active projects on L2Beat, these are all people building layer 2 blockchains similar to Base. So some might be an optimistic rollup, some might be an optimistic rollup using the OP stack, a ZK rollup, which are all just different ways of securing and processing transactions. But let's focus on competitors that also have an exchange. So we saw Binance is doing very well with their BNB chain. At number 8, we have Kronos. This is the blockchain of Crypto.com. We have Base in 12th place. Now, this is all ordered by TVL. That's total value locked. That's how much money people are locking up into these ecosystems. And getting in the 12th position within a week of their launch is very impressive. If we take a look at the numbers, they have over 100,000 active users already. So I think we can expect a lot of growth from Base in the near future. And as we're looking at other exchanges, Bybit has Mantle, OKX Exchange uses OKT Chain, Wobi uses Hiko, that's the Wobi Eco Chain, and KuCoin uses KCC, the KuCoin Community Chain. Now, just because a crypto exchange launches their own DeFi ecosystem doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a success, but Base has been doing a very good job at that. They've been leveraging their big position on social media. They've created this engaging on-chain summer campaign where you can mint a lot of NFTs, and they've had big partnerships. For on-chain summer, Coca-Cola was a partner. So even though there are a lot of crypto exchanges doing the same thing, there are a lot of different layer 2s doing the same thing, Base is in a very unique position where they can market their DeFi ecosystem to over 100 million registered users from their Coinbase crypto exchange. The Dan opinion, what I think about Base. And I like it. I think they're doing an excellent job, and it's helping out everyone in crypto. And that's because as Base is a DeFi ecosystem, it's its own blockchain, it's a layer 2, it's helping a lot of different things all at once. With Base, you have to process transactions using ETH, so you need Ethereum. Now, when transactions happen on a layer 2, they have to get bundled up and then posted to Ethereum, that is the layer 1. And as you know, transactions require gas, and gas fees with Ethereum get burned. So if you are holding Ethereum, then your Ethereum becomes more valuable as Ethereum becomes a deflationary asset. So I like that point. Now, Base could launch their own coin in the future. We don't know that for sure, but there is a lot of growth happening in their network. A lot of people have high expectations for what's going to happen there. So I'm doing a lot of my DeFi activity there, and I'm looking into new protocols, but that's the risk. When you are using any new protocol that doesn't have an established history, you are taking on a lot of risk, especially with DeFi. You don't know how reliable it is long term, so be very careful. Like, I've been burned before in the past many times in DeFi, and I've learned never go all in, take your time, and only invest what you can afford to lose. Now, on the flip side of that, a lot of projects don't have tokens yet. You could be an early user and be eligible for an airdrop, unless you're from the US, because then sometimes they make you go through KYC, and then you wouldn't be eligible for that airdrop unless you're from Palau, and I got another video on that if you check the channel. So I like what Base is doing, and they have the capability of bringing more people into DeFi. They are creating more value for Ethereum holders. They are contributing to Optimism by giving them 10% of all their revenue, and then Optimism can use that money to make better and safer products for people to use. So everything I'm seeing from what's happening with Base is very positive. And if the trend continues, Base could be making tens of millions annually just from running their own blockchain. That can be even more in the future. We don't know yet, but I don't necessarily think that this is just a cash grab from a company just trying to make more money. I think what they're doing is helping out everyone in crypto. They are making it possible for more people to get involved in DeFi with these quests, with these baby steps of like, hey, this is how it works. We're going to reward you if you use it. And that's done through Coinbase Wallet and Coinbase Quests. And I think Base is just generating a lot of value for everyone in crypto, whether you're an investor in Ethereum or not. So for myself, I'm going to continue using Base and exploring their ecosystem as it is rapidly growing. And that is kind of where most of my attention is at the moment. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, always appreciated when you hit the like button, because that helps people see more content and inspires me to make more content. All right, with that, I hope you got your full value for today.